Well, hello. It has been a while since I have made a YouTube video, and I don't even know where to start with a new video these days. So I'm just practicing right now, just putting something out there, talking about things that I have done, things that I have learned, things that I have been going through, and just making a new video, seeing what it looks like, seeing how I can use the tools that I have now to make a new video. And I'm I think what I want to do going forward is to just start sharing a lot of the things that I've been learning, sharing the things that I've been doing, sharing the things that I want that other people to know, because there's so much out there on this spiritual path to know, so many things that I've done, so many things that I want to do, things that I want to be better at in my life, things that I want to bring more in my life. And so I think this video is going to be about that. And I want to start doing a lot of the things that I enjoy. I really enjoy doing the moon layouts. I enjoy doing seasonal layouts and readings and working with those rhythms in my life. I enjoy reading and looking at new decks and using old decks in new ways, old tarot decks, using the things that I have learned. I've learned Lenormand and I've gotten better at that. So, just doing some of those things. And the first thing I want to do is I've had a deck and a book that I've really wanted to do and to study for a long time. And I've been putting it off because I've been putting other things needed to come first for a while. But that's, I think, the first thing I want to do. So I'm going to go down and get that book, get that deck. It is the Wild Unknown Alchemical deck, because I'm really interested in alchemy and knowing how it has kind of become this scientific study that people used to do a long time ago, and now it has become very metaphorical. At least to me in my life, I think it's become a metaphor of things that are going on, taking the things that we're born with, like our astrology charts, taking the things that our intuition, taking the things that we have, and turning it into something new, turning it into seeing what works, what combines to turn to gold, and seeing what things don't combine and maybe need to let go. So it's that deck, and then there's also a book on alchemy, and it's a pretty short book. And I think that it'll go good together because I can do kind of sections of the deck and look at the cards and use the cards, and then also use read that book at the same time and have it as a month-long study. And this month is quickly going by. July is coming to an end. We're more than halfway through another year, which I can't believe. It just, time just is going so much faster these days, it seems like to me. And I really want to just get everything out of every day that I can. Do the things that I enjoy, just like my dog back there in the background, who is doing what she enjoys and burying her bone and then taking a nap on all the pillows. So, she's doing her thing. I want to do my thing and just be here and be in a space where I can share a lot of the things I'm going through, especially now that I am in a phase in my life where things are very different. My body's different. My the way that I exercise and I eat, a lot of those things are different. I'm hot flashes all the time. And that's all part of being in this postmenopausal place. And I know that it's going to change. The kind of the big change is over. And so now I'm just looking at ways of little changes, things that I can do that really bring in the wisdom, the the things I have learned over the years and have gotten better at. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to this time in my life and looking forward to sharing it again, hopefully sharing it with some of you out there that are going through some of the same things, going through transitions, going through and maybe not transition into menopause, but maybe transition to motherhood or transition into empty nest. There's I think as women, especially, we go through a lot of transitions, a lot of times when are we have things and it seems like that we're going to stay in this place forever, and then all of a sudden it's gone. All of a sudden that this time of life is over. We work so hard to get our first job, or to get out of school, or to get married, or to find a partner, or any things like that, to work on our next job, to have children. And our children, we do, and we give up a lot of things for them to be the mother. And so we go through these phases, and then it's over. And then our kids grow up and have the audacity to go out into the world and become their own people, and their own adults with their own kids and their own life and family and things like that. So it's definitely a it's transition, but all the time, here we are, the same person that we are. I mean, basically the same person, and basically the same person that was born to our families, and was raised and grew up in a situation, and then we left home just like our children are leaving, or we get jobs just like the people around us, our other family members, they move on with things in their lives. And so, but here we are with our soul that we're born with, and learning, just like learning astrology has really opened my eyes to a lot of the things that I've carried with me over these years, being in this incarnation. And whatever you believe about souls, or destiny, or fate, or astrology, or how we were born, and what happens after you die, and what happened before you were born, whatever you believe, it's all in a cycle, and it all, wherever you are and whatever you believe, there's commonalities within us all. We're all born, into this earth, into, a body, into this earth, but we're all very unique. And so we're all part of this collective, but we're all very unique as well. And I think that's one thing that's something that I've been working on, realizing this time that I'm on earth, in this particular incarnation, walking this particular path. It is full of paradoxes, and it's full of things that shouldn't make sense. There's things that seem to be, one way or the other, and an either or, but bringing in that both and is so very important. And I think that is what this time in my life, I've learned this up to this point, and now I'm going to be able to walk on and walk with that, and walk with being able to hold these paradoxes, hold these things that should be in either or, but we can bring them together, and alchemy. That's why I want to study alchemy. Bring these things together that seem opposites, that seem polarities, and bring them together, and notice that they are polarities, but they also work together. They might work opposite each other, but they also work together, and they complement each other. I'm an Aries sun. My husband is a Libra sun. They're opposites on the zodiac wheel, but we work together. There's some things that we are opposite in, and we kind of embrace that, and then we use those areas in our life to complement each other as well. So it's this both and that's what I really want to explore going forward, and in alchemy, and see how I can bring these things in that seem very opposite, that seem very different, and really bring them together. And so that's a lot of the things that I'm going to be working on, talking about, bringing those things into my life at this point, because I am, kind of, you start out as this person who was born to a family, and sometimes our family experiences very early on are good, and sometimes our family experiences are not. But we bring that into kind of this time in our life that we grow into ourselves, as we are growing older, and from infants to toddlers to elementary school kids to middle school, to preteens to teenagers. We're growing into that part that is, that we bring into being a young adult, and bringing into that place where we're kind of us. We're kind of, we're you. And then, our lives, may take, different paths. Some of us get married and have children and families. Some of us stay single. Some of us, stay single and have children. Some of us, don't stay single and have different partners. Some of us, but we're always, doing this thing where we're with other people. We get jobs and we're working with other people, and we're learning about those things. And so it's kind of this, we're growing. We have this, we're growing into, we have this family support, because we need that support as we're growing. We need people to, teach us how to be a person, and teach us the basics of being a human, feeding and being clothed and buying things and working with money. And so then, we take all those things and we kind of form it into, ourselves, our values, and what we want to do with our lives. And then, we have all these encounters with people, and people fall into our lives and fall out of our lives. And, our circle expands and our circle contracts, but it's all a cycle. And those things, go in a cycle, and we grow with that, just like the moon, and growing with that cycle. And every month, and the moon goes through these cycles and goes through, um, during the year, and it goes through all the signs, and goes through, the new moons and full moons of each sign. But it's still a cycle, and every time you come to that different place, you're a little bit different. You bring this core of you, but you're a little bit different. And I think that's that both and so now I'm at a place where, I feel like I had a wide circle of friends, I had, and family, and I had and I have a husband, and I, had kids living at home. And, that kind of entails, a lot of things, even though we homeschooled. So, we didn't have maybe as wide of a circle as we used to, a lot of people have. But, we were involved in a lot of groups and a lot of activities for the kids. And, there were things that I did, for myself. I was a scrapbooker, and I did a lot of scrapbooking things. I had that community. So different communities that you're part of through this year. But then you get to a part where you're like, there are things that are just me, that are still just me. And how do I honor that? And I feel like I'm at that point where, how do I honor myself? How do I honor myself? And I'm really at a point where I'm very choosy about the people that I share myself with, because I've done a lot of this work. I've gone through a lot of hard things, physically, mentally, and I've gone through a lot of really good things. And so now, how do I want to make that alchemy? How do I want to bring that part of me into this later part of my years, and this later part of my life? And how do I want to honor that, honor myself, and honor the things, my values that, that have kind of been battle tested through the years. And now I, have a very clear picture of, who I am and who I want to be, and the things that I want to bring into the rest of my life. So it's that, I'm at that point where it's kind of like things have, contracted and expanded through the years. And now I'm at a place where, I'm just kind of, I feel like the temperance card in tarot, that I'm just kind of, it's that alchemical card, that bringing things that I learned, bringing things that, are very practical, but bringing in things that are very magical and intuitive, bringing those things together and going forward with those things in my life. And So that is where I am at this point in my life, and just getting back on camera, getting back in front of the camera as as me, and as in the ways that I've grown and changed over the years, and bringing those things into life these days. And so I think it's gonna be a process. And it's gonna be these things, but doing these little things and just doing them instead of doing them where I would just kind of write about them in my journal, talking about them and bringing them to life in a video in a YouTube and sharing it here. So thank you if you're here and you're listening to this and you're watching. I really do appreciate it. And I hope that you come back again as I add more and more to this YouTube space, and to the space, and to my space in general, and just to me and to myself, and sharing it and hoping that it can be an inspiration to you in some way, and that this can become a community, a place of sharing, as we go through these changes, and as you go through the changes in your life, and that we can share them and talk and be here together. So thank you again. It's nice to see you, and I will definitely see you again very soon. I'm going to grab my alchemical deck and book, and start doing a study and start sharing that as well. So look for that, and look for some seasonal things that are coming up. So Lunasa, that's coming up August 1st, and the autumn equinox is coming up soon, and that saying, moving into a new space and into a new place, because, time never stops. And I want to be present for as much of it as possible. And I hope that you're here with me as well. So thank you again for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye.